In this lesson, we will be learning how to add pockets to our garments. We will be looking at 3 pocket types: patch, inseam, and welt pockets. The first pocket type is a patch pocket. To add a patch pocket, we first need to identify the pattern piece to stitch the pocket to. Let's stitch to the front bodice. Before stitching, we must indicate on the pattern piece the position of the patched pocket. To indicate the pocket position on the bodice, we place the pocket on top of the bodice in its intended position. If the pocket goes below the bodice, we can adjust the stacking order. Once that is done, we need to trace the pocket outline onto the bodice. One way is by multi-selecting the edges and tracing them as internal lines. Or a quicker way is to click the pattern piece and then in the context view, click the Line tab. This automatically selects all edges of the pattern. Then we can trace these as internal lines. Next, we adjust the 3D layer of the pocket to be higher than the bodice pattern and stitch the pocket edges to the internal lines. Once that is complete, we first ensure the pattern pieces are arranged. Then we ensure Use in 3D is selected. Finally, we dress the garment to view the outcome. We can use the same method to add a pocket flap, but in this case, we only need to trace the top edge of the pocket flap onto the bodice and stitch. Then we ensure Use in 3D is selected. Finally, we dress the garment to view the outcome. The next pocket type is inseam pockets. To add inseam pockets, we first need to have indications on the side seam of the pants pattern pieces and pocket bags for the pocket opening. We'll change these notches to a corner point and ensure that there are no stitches along the opening. The next important step is to adjust the 3D layers. Since the pocket bag will be on the inside of the garment, we can then reduce the pocket bag 3D layer. There are 2 pieces of the pocket bags. Thus, we must reduce the 3D layer of the lower pocket bag. If the pocket bags are identical, a tip to easily identify while stitching is to temporarily change their color. We simply drag and drop a color from the color library. Now we can stitch the pocket bag to the pants. First, we stitch the pocket bags together, except for the opening. Next, we stitch the top pocket bag to the front pants pattern. We want to make sure we stitch the top of the pocket bag to the pants waistline. Remember that we can adjust the stitch length to match when stitching the pocket bags to the side seam. Next, we stitch the bottom pocket bag to the side seam of the pants, except for the opening. Once that is complete, we first ensure the pattern pieces are arranged. Then we ensure Use in 3D is selected. Finally, we dress the garment to view the outcome. Now we'll look at welt pockets. When we are adding welt pockets in V-Stitcher, note that we are not able to slice the pattern to create an opening for the pocket. Therefore, we will be stitching the welt on top of the pocket position. Let's add a welt pocket to the back of the pants. Here we need to have the marking for the position of the pocket with an internal line. This is best added in your 2D CAD software. The top pocket bag should also have the marking of the pocket opening to stitch to the pants pattern. Let's adjust the 3D layer first. We must ensure that the pocket bags are on a lower layer than the pants pattern pieces. Note that the lower pocket bag should be 1 layer lower. Remember, if it's too difficult to differentiate between the 2 pocket bag patterns, changing the color of one of the patterns can help. The welt pattern should be a layer above the pants. Now we can stitch the pocket bags together and stitch the top bag to the waistline. Then we stitch the internal lines on the top pocket bag to the internal lines on the pants. Next, we stitch the welt pattern on the internal lines of the pants. Once that is complete, we first ensure the pattern pieces are arranged. Then we ensure Use in 3D is selected. Finally, we dress the garment to view the outcome. If we are creating a welt pocket for visualization purposes only, we may choose not to include the pocket bags. This means that it would just be like a faux pocket. The welt pattern can also be replaced by a smart zipper for zipped pockets instead of a welt pocket. Although we have learned how to add only 3 different pocket types, we can apply these same techniques for similar pocket types. We'll close with a tip. It is important to check the 3D layers to ensure that the pattern pieces are arranged in a sequential order on the avatar. That helps avoid having the pockets and other pattern pieces collide when the garment is dressed. And that is how we add pockets to your garments. For more information, visit support.browseware.com.